Hi everyone, Namaste. I hope all of you understand my last video classes. If you have any doubts or any queries, please post on the comment box. I will try to explain them also. Thank you. Now I am going to explain a new topic that is very important topic also and very simple topic also, that is hybridization. So what exactly hybridization is and how it is useful, I will explain. But first of all, hybridization is an important table, so you need to memorize this table also. So this is the table. I write everything in this. So first of all, everyone write down it and try to need to memorize it, because it is most important and very useful topic in the entrance exams also. Now, what hybridization and how it is calculated, I'll explain later. First of all, just write down it and you need to memorize this also. Now I am giving this table. This is hybridization value. We have to calculate hybridization value by using a simple formula. I will give that formula also. This is hybridization value. The value must be starts from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. So by using hybridization value, we can know what is its hybridization, how many bond pairs are present, how many lone pairs are present, and what is the shape of that molecule. So if the value of hybridization is kept 2, that means it must be sp hybridization, which means sp hybridization exhibit 180 degrees bond angle. There are 2 bond pairs and 0 lone pairs, and the shape must be linear shape. What are bond pairs and what are lone pairs, I will explain in this video later. Similarly, if value is 3, hybridization must be sp2. Bond angle is 120. There are possibility of 3 bond pairs or 2 bond pairs. If 3 bond pairs are present, lone pairs must be 0. If 2 bond pairs are present, lone pair must be 1. If 3 bond pairs and 0 lone pairs are present, the shape must be trigonal planar. Similarly, 2 bond pairs and 1 lone pair is present, the shape must be bent. Similarly, value is 4. The hybridization is sp3. Angle is 109.28. So possibility of bond pairs are 4, 3, 2. Based on that, possibility of lone pairs are 0, 1, 2. These are the possible shapes of the molecules. Similarly, if value is 5, the hybridization must be sp3d. There are 2 bond angles, 90 and 120. In this, we know d orbitals are 5 d orbitals. So in this sp3d, the dz square orbitals participate in the hybridization. And these are the possible bond pairs, and these are the possible lone pairs, and this is the possible shape of the molecules. Similarly, value is 6. Hybridization must be sp3d2. Bond angles are 90, and the 2 d orbitals participating in the hybridization are dx square y square and dz square. These are possible bond pairs and possible lone pairs and possible shape of the molecules. Similarly, value is 7. Hybridization must be sp3d3. Bond angles are 90 and 72 possible, and the 3 d orbitals are dxy, dx square y square and dz square. These are possible bond pairs and possible lone pairs and possible shapes of the molecule. So everyone, you have to need this table. You have to memorize. This table is very, very important in the exam purpose. Now, how this hybridization value calculated and what exactly hybridization, we will see. Now, what is hybridization? As I said in my last video, there is a valence bond theory which explains the formation of a covalent compound. Example, I am taking CH for example. In this methane molecule, the central atom is carbon, and that is surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms with a covalent bonds. We will see how this molecule is formed according to valence bond theory. So the central atom carbon exhibit atomic number 6, its electronic configuration must be 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. This is the ground state configuration of carbon. In the excited state, the configuration must be 1s2, 2s1, 2p3. There is one s electron and 3 p electrons are possible. Why I have taken this excited state is carbon has 4 valence electrons in the second valency shell. Even there are 4 valence electrons, but 2 s electrons are paired. So according to valence bond theory, paired electrons does not participate in the bond. That's why if these has to participate in the bond, there must be excitation of electron into the p orbital. One s electron excited to p orbital, this will become s1 and this will become p3. So there is a 1 electron in the s orbital and 3 electrons each in p orbitals. Now what the valence bond theory says that each unpaired electron orbital overlap with the other orbitals of atoms. So carbon has 4 unpaired electrons. One is s orbital, remaining 3 are p orbitals. Now there are 4 hydrogen atoms also. Each hydrogen also contains 1 electron. The hydrogen atom is spherical in shape. This electron will overlap. Formation of bond will take place. Like that, each hydrogen atom will overlap. Formation of bond will take place between carbon and hydrogen atom. Now see this. In these 4 bonds, there are 4 bonds in methane molecule like this. Even there are 4 CH bonds. One CH bond is formed by s orbital of carbon and s orbital of hydrogen. That's why this bond is called SS bond. But the remaining 3 unpaired electrons present in the p orbital, the hydrogen atom contains only s orbital. And this bond is called PS bond. This is also PS. This is also PS according to valence bond theory. Now see this. When we are simply identified, there is an energy difference between this SS and PS bond, because s orbital has less energy, p orbital has more energy, that we know. However, experimentally it is observed that all these bond energies of CH4 are equal, but theoretically that is not possible. Hence, there is a small drawback in valence bond theory. They does not form equal energy bonds. So, to explain how the equal energy bonds are formed, we used an introduced concept, that is hybridization. Hybridization is a imaginary concept. It is not a real existence. It is just imaginary concept to explain how equal energy orbitals are formed, that we are calling as hybridization. So what hybridization is? Even though atomic orbitals are different in energy, but the bond energies all are equal, which means the energy of different atomic orbitals are redistributed by mixing. So this mixing of different energy atomic orbital we are calling as hybridization. Hybridization means intermixing of different energy atomic orbital. Simply see this. In this carbon atom, there are 4 orbitals. One is S, remaining 3 are P. If we are intermix this 1s and 3p orbital, formation of a new hybrid orbitals are possible. These are represented by sp3. sp3 means it is formed by mixing of 1s orbital and 3p orbital. So the hybridization of CH4 must be sp3. So that is how to identify hybridization and why it is important. So to form unequal energy bonds, we use hybridization. It is no real existence, only it is a hypothetical concept to explain satisfactorily valence bond theory. Now every time we no need to write this electronic configuration and write this atomic orbital to determine hybridization. There is a simple formula to determine hybridization for each and every molecule. I will explain what that formula is. if we have to identify hybridization value, simply we use valence electrons of central atom plus number of monovalent atoms attached to it plus any negative charge minus any positive charge. The total divided by 2. This is the formula to identify hybridization value. Valence electrons of central atom, number of monovalent atoms attached to it, minus negative charge, plus negative charge and minus positive charge, whole divided by 2. Example, same see this CH4 methane molecule. In this the central atom is carbon. The valence electrons of carbon must be we know. Carbon belongs to 4th group or 14th group. There are 4 valence electrons are possible. Plus number of monovalent atoms. What are the monovalent atoms means? Whose valency is 1. That is either first group or 17th group elements. Those are only monovalent atoms. Hydrogen is a monovalent atom. So there are 4 monovalent atoms are present. The number of monovalent atoms are 4. And there is no charge on this molecule, no positive or no negative charge. The whole divided by 2, which gives value 4. The value 4 means according to before table, the hybridization must be sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization molecule should be tetrahedral geometry. Carbon is the central atom. Just write down carbon in the central. And there are 4 hydrogens surrounded it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all are bond pairs. There is no lone pairs, which means the molecule is tetrahedral shaped molecule. And we know bond angle is also 109.28 according to the table. So this is how to determine hybridization value. Very simple formula. So first we have to identify which element belongs to which group and how many valence electrons are present, that we have to memorize. Again I am explaining formula. V means valence electrons of central atom. M means number of monovalent atoms, which means either first group atoms or 17th group atoms. Similarly, if any negative charge is present, we have to add that. Any positive charge is present, we have to subtract that, because negative charge means extra electron, positive charge means loss of electrons. Whole divided by 2. See another example. I am writing ammonia molecule. In this ammonia molecule, the central atom is nitrogen. Nitrogen belongs to 15th group. The valence electrons must be 5. Plus number of monovalent atoms. There are 3 hydrogen atoms. 3. No charge on this molecule. The whole divided by 2, which gives again 4. That means sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization exhibit tetrahedral geometry, as we know. The central atom must be nitrogen, and there are 3 hydrogen atoms are present. 1, 2, 3, which means 1 is empty, which means there is a possibility of lone pair. So in this NH3 molecule, 3 bond pairs are present and 1 lone pair is present, which means the shape is pyramidal, as I write before the table. This is how to determine hybridization. See some other examples. I am writing CO2 molecule. In this CO2 molecule, the central atom must be carbon. There are 4 valence electrons plus number of monovalent atom. Here the surrounded atoms are oxygens. Oxygen is not a monovalent atom. It does not belong to first group. It does not belong to 17th group. Its valency is 2. So there is no monovalent atom. The number of monovalent atoms must be 0. And there is no negative charge, no positive charge. Total divided by 2, which means 2, which means it must be sp hybridization. sp hybridization exhibit linear geometry like this. The central atom must be carbon, and there are to surrounded atoms. So this is the CO2 molecule. However, the valency of oxygen must be 2. So there must be formation of pi bonds also in this CO2 molecule. However, pi bonds are not formed by hybrid orbitals. Hybridization only forms sigma bonds. Pi bonds does not belong to hybridization. These are formed by unhybrid orbitals. So this is the structure of CO2 molecule. See another example. Sulfate molecule, SO4 2-. Here the central atom is sulfur. The valence electrons must be 6 because it belongs to 16th group. Plus number of monovalent atom. As I said, 4 oxygens are there, but oxygen does not belong to monovalent. Hence, the number of monovalent must be 0. And there is some negative charge in this molecule. There is 2-. Negative charge must be added. If its positive charge is present, it must be subtracted. The total divided by 2, which gives value 4, which means sp3 hybridization. If you are writing the structure, there are 4 bonds. Central atom must be sulfur, and there are 4 oxygens. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is sulfate molecule. There is no lone pair. All are bond pairs. At the same time, we know oxygen is the divalent. So wherever oxygen is present, that must be double bond. Here also double bonds are present, but there is a 2 negative charge, which contains negative charge, which contains negative charge. Wherever second charge is present, its bond is not present. This is the structure of sulfate molecule. So like this, any molecule, we can determine hybridization, we can identify its shape, we can identify how many lone pairs are present, how many bond pairs are present. So all this can be determined simply by using hybridization concept. Even it is an imaginary concept, but with this concept, we can identify geometry, we can identify bond angles, we can identify hybridization, everything. Most important topic is hybridization. See some other examples also. I am giving C2H6 molecule. In this, there are 2 carbon atoms are present as a central atom. This is 1 carbon, this is another carbon, and there are 6 hydrogens are present. Equally distributed 6 hydrogens on these 2 carbon atoms, and there is a formation of bond between this molecule. This is the structure of ethane molecule. Now see this, in this carbon atom, there are also 4 bonds are present, and all these are sigma bonds. Whenever sigma bonds are present, the molecule is called alkane, that we know. Each and every alkanic carbon exhibit sp3 hybridization, because sp3 means 4 bonds and all these 4 are sigma bonds are present. There is no lone pair, so carbon must be sp3 hybridized to carbon. Similarly, this carbon is also sp3 hybridized to carbon. So all alkanes exhibit sp3. Like that, if you are taking C2H4 molecule, there are also 2 central atoms, there are 4 hydrogens. If you are equally distributed, each carbon gets 2 hydrogen atoms, and the formation of bond between carbon and carbon. Now see this, in this carbon only there are 3 bonds are present, which means this carbon must be sp2 hybridization. This is also sp2 hybridization. But we know valency of carbon is 4, which means the formation of pi bond will take place between carbon and carbon. So this is alkene. Each and every alkenic carbon exhibit sp2, and every alkanic carbon exhibit sp3 hybridization. Like that, alkynes, double bonded carbons, exhibit sp hybridization. These are the hybridization of organic compounds like alkane, alkene and alkyne. In some exams, a big molecule is given and asking for each and every hybridization of that carbon like this. See this is a carbon atom, carbon atom, carbon atom, carbon atom, carbon, carbon and carbon. This carbon only gets sigma bonds, which means alkane, that must be sp3 carbon. Even this is the carbon which contains only sigma bonds, which means sp3. This is also sp3, but this carbon there is a pi bond present, so it must be sp2 alkene. This also contains double bond, so this must be sp2. This carbon contains triple bond, which means 2 pi bonds, that is alkyne. Hybridization must be sp. This also must contains sp hybridization. So each and every atom also exhibit hybridization that can be easily identified: single bond, double bond and triple bond. All alkenes are sp3, alkenes are sp2, alkynes are sp hybridized atoms. So I hope you understand this hybridization topic. Thank you very much.